Look, if these videos were scratch and sniff, you would not still be watching. Listen to all the voices. What could possibly go wrong? But that was scary as f***. Did you know these things can actually talk if you listen really closely? Yeah, I'm in Redwoods National Park. It's about 6 o'clock at night. Super quiet. You can hear them. These things are like Ents. They're like 1,500 years old, 2,000 years old, and there's wicked knowledge in here. Oh. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. Oh, well, since you asked, yes, I actually have had quite an interesting day. Tide pools, you say? Hidden beaches? Well, let me get you caught up, my friend.
Is this the last time I can see you in a while? Is it the truth that you'll be living tonight? We should take a walk, then a swim in the sea. That will mean everything, yeah, everything to me. Can we get out of this one? Waiting and missing. I never thought you would leave me here. We can get out of this one. A tunnel of feelings, just like we got through everything else. But I see you, honey. This is in no way funny. We will find our way back together. But right now, there's stormy weather.
Okay, so now you know how I literally got here. I want to talk to you a little bit about how I figuratively got here. You know me, I'm gonna overthink it. And I promise we will get back to these redwoods with a super sexy interlude. But first, have you ever had those voices? Not like the voices, they're like telling you, you're the worst, and stop talking to cameras, and nobody cares about your sexy interludes. No, those are my bad voices. But no, have you ever had those voices, they're actually trying to tell you something important, something to change in your life, something to maybe change about your job or your relationship or where you're living, and it keeps happening over and over again. You hear that voice, but you're like, you know what, I'm not ready, I'm not quite there, I don't want to do the things that I need to do to listen to you. Well, I've had that voice, and I had it about 3 years ago, and I actually listened to it. That's probably literally why I'm sitting here in Redwoods National Park. Let me take it back and give you the Cliff's Notes. So 3 years ago, I'm working my tail off, long weeks, and I'm like, dude, you gotta get out of the office. You're stressed out, you're not cool right now, you need to go to your happy place. So I got in my car, drove an hour and a half to South Mountains State Park, and I started hiking. Thing is, I'm actually quite introverted. Other than when I'm talking to a camera out in the middle of the woods, I don't usually strike up conversations with people. I'm usually a wallflower if I'm out at the bars. But what I noticed was, within the first eighth of a mile, I was engaging people. I was starting conversations, smiling at everybody, stopping, chatting. It was like I didn't know who this guy was. So that's when I was like, dude, you better pay attention to this voice this time. And it was telling me, hey man, this is important. Pay attention to what's happening. I was a different person. I am a different person when I'm in nature. It inspires me. I'm like a pig in shit. I'm like a kid on Christmas. I got the permagrin. I look like an idiot walking through the forest. I'm like, trees, rocks, dirt. Clearly I have an odd voice whenever I get the permagrin. But that's the thing, like, I listened to it and I was like, all right, man, time to do all the things and whatever needs done. Fast forward 3 years, I got rid of 90% of my client and income base and rebuilt that virtually so that I can work location independently. I sold a house and I drove 5,000 miles and here I am. It was not easy. It is still not easy. I sleep in a f***ing Jeep. I shower 2 or 3 times a week if I'm lucky. Look, if these videos were scratch and sniff, you would not still be watching. So I guess that's where I want to turn it back to you. But first, let's get sexy. That just looks like I want to be stupid on it. I know it looked really funny doing that, but that was scary as f***. These things are so giant. I feel like a metrosexual hobbit. I really have no clue whether I'm capturing the scale of these things. But the big ones are like 10 to 15 feet wide at the base. And these are redwoods. These are not sequoias. Redwoods are taller, 300 to 360 feet tall, but they're not as wide as the base. Sequoias, which hopefully I'll get to sequoia later this year, sequoias are wider at the base, but not quite as tall. I'm doing my best to get the scale in here for you. Okay, so back to that question from earlier. That's my quick Cliff's Notes. Yeah, there's a lot more in there. That was 3 years. But those voices were there 5 years ago, and they were there 7 years ago. It took me that long to start listening to them, and then it took me 3 years to change my life to get there. So here's my question to you. How long have those voices been talking to you, and how long have you been telling them to get out of your way so you can keep doing what you're doing? You're not gonna get a written invitation. These trees are not going to literally talk to you. At some point, you have to just say, you know what, I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to go down this road. I can always go back. I can always change again, but I need to see what that voice is talking about. So, do it. Listen to all the voices. What could possibly go wrong? So if you ever get a chance to visit the Redwoods National Park, understand this runs from Oregon down to California. It's full of coastline, beaches, and this is an actual rainforest. So you have amazing conditions here with a canopy that's 300 to 350 feet tall in places. Grab yourself a guidebook. I will link to the one that I always use for these national parks. Super helpful. Actually, the 3 places that I've been to today, I found in that book. Yeah, shoot me a thumbs up. Share it, because sharing is caring. And I will catch you on the next one.